Ever walk into one of those century-old homes and feel something modern construction just can't replicate? There's a reason those houses feel different. Our grandparents built homes with features so clever, so thoughtfully designed, that we're still trying to reinvent them with expensive technology today. We're talking about architectural solutions that cooled homes without electricity, created community without social media, and lasted generations without needing replacement. Today we're exploring 25 home features from our grandparents' era that modern builders abandoned, but families are desperate to bring back. Some of these you'll remember from childhood visits to grandma's house. Others might surprise you with how brilliantly simple they were. Dumbwaiters. Before modern elevators or automatic conveyors, homes from the 1880s to the 1930s featured dumbwaiters, small freight elevators that moved food, laundry, and heavy items between floors. These simple rope and pulley systems operated entirely by hand, but could transport hundreds of pounds with minimal effort. The typical setup included a shaft running between floors, a wooden platform or box that traveled up and down on ropes or cables, and a pulley system with counterweights that made lifting surprisingly easy. Pull the rope, and dinner for 8 people silently rose from the kitchen to the dining room. Send dirty dishes back down the same way. Move a basket of laundry from the 3rd floor to the basement without carrying it down 2 flights of stairs. The engineering was more sophisticated than it appeared. Counterweights meant you weren't lifting the full weight of the load. Guide rails kept the platform steady. Safety catches prevented the platform from falling if ropes broke. Some systems included dumbwaiter bells or speaking tubes, so people on different floors could communicate about what was coming up or going down. For homes with elderly residents or multiple stories, dumbwaiters solved real problems. No more struggling with heavy laundry baskets on stairs. No more carrying hot pots up from the basement kitchen. No more risk of tripping and falling while carrying unwieldy loads. These systems disappeared as homes got smaller. Families hired fewer servants who might have used them, and people became accustomed to just carrying things themselves. Ranch houses eliminated the multiple floors that made dumbwaiters necessary. But anyone who's hauled laundry, groceries, or heavy items up multiple flights of stairs knows the problem never actually went away. Today, as multi-story home design becomes popular again, designers are rediscovering dumbwaiters as practical solutions. Modern versions might use electric motors instead of hand-pulled ropes, but the core concept remains brilliantly simple. Moving heavy things vertically is easier than carrying them yourself. Milk doors. From the 1930s through the 1950s, fresh milk could appear in your kitchen without anyone opening the front door. Milk doors were small insulated compartments built into exterior walls with two-way access, allowing delivery people to place bottles from outside while homeowners retrieve them from inside. These weren't elaborate installations. A simple wooden box, maybe 14 inches square, lined with metal or ceramic, set into the wall at waist height. The exterior door latched securely while the interior door opened into the kitchen or mudroom. Some fancier versions included drainage holes in case bottles leaked and even small ventilation systems to keep contents cool. The milk door was part of a larger community system where local dairies delivered fresh products several times weekly. The milkman knew each family, their preferences, their schedules. He'd leave the right number of bottles, pick up empties, sometimes leave a note if the dairy had fresh eggs or butter available. This wasn't just delivery service. It was a neighborhood connection point. The security aspect was genius too. Deliveries stayed hidden from street view, protected from weather and theft. It functioned like a first-generation smart lockbox, ensuring your groceries stayed safe and dry without requiring anyone to be home. The insulation kept milk reasonably cool even on warm mornings until someone retrieved it. These doors disappeared as supermarkets replaced daily delivery services and refrigerators got larger, making it practical to buy a week's worth of milk at once. But that convenience came with a cost, the loss of that daily connection to local food producers, the end of knowing exactly where your milk came from and who brought it. Modern versions are actually reappearing in new construction, though now they're called package delivery boxes with electronic locks and temperature control. We're essentially reinventing the milk door with expensive technology because we finally recognized the core idea was brilliant. The secure, discreet transaction point right at home solves problems that haven't changed in a century. Washstands. Before every bedroom had an attached bathroom, personal hygiene happened at washstands, pieces of furniture that brought cleanliness into private spaces. These stands appeared in bedrooms from the late 1800s through the early 1900s, featuring a simple but elegant setup designed specifically for morning and evening rituals. A typical washstand included a large porcelain or metal basin sitting in a circular opening on top, a tall pitcher filled with clean water, a towel rack on the side, and often a small mirror mounted above. Some elaborate versions had marble tops, storage drawers for personal items, and even separate compartments for soap and toothbrushes. The daily routine had a meditative quality we've lost. You'd pour water from the pitcher into the basin, splash your face, perform your morning washing deliberately and mindfully. There was no faucet to turn on mindlessly while you thought about other things. The act of washing required intention and presence. These stands also represented respect for personal privacy. Each family member had their own basin and pitcher, their own designated space for personal care. It wasn't the most efficient system by modern standards, but it created moments of quiet self-care that modern rushed bathroom routines rarely provide. When indoor plumbing arrived and bathrooms became standard, washstands seemed instantly obsolete. Why maintain all that furniture when you could just turn a faucet? But we traded something valuable for that convenience. Those quiet, intentional moments of self-care before starting the day or retiring at night. The washstand reminds us that slower doesn't always mean worse. Sometimes taking a few extra moments, being present with simple daily tasks, provides value beyond efficiency. It's a lesson our grandparents practiced every day without even thinking about it. Wraparound porches with deep shade. These weren't the token 4-foot slabs of concrete we call porches today. We're talking about genuine outdoor rooms that wrapped around 2 or even 3 sides of a house, stretching 8 to 10 feet deep with substantial roof overhangs that blocked the summer sun completely. Back in the 1920s and 30s, roughly 7 out of every 10 new homes featured these expansive porches. Families practically lived out there from May through September. Kids spread out board games on rainy afternoons while staying completely dry. Neighbors stopped by without needing a formal invitation, settling into rocking chairs for conversations that lasted until fireflies came out. The porch swing was where young couples had their first serious talks, where grandparents told stories that kept family history alive. The engineering was smarter than people realize. Those deep overhangs kept direct sunlight from hitting the house walls, dropping indoor temperatures by 15 degrees or more without running a single appliance. The shade created natural air conditioning that worked all day, every day for decades. Then the 1950s arrived with affordable window air conditioning units and suburban lots that kept shrinking. Builders started cutting porches down to nothing, just enough space to stand while unlocking the door. Social life moved indoors and behind closed doors. Privacy fences went up. The informal neighborhood gathering spot disappeared. Here's what modern builders won't tell you. Adding a proper wraparound porch costs less than most people spend on outdoor furniture and patio installations combined. Studies show these porches increase home values by 10 to 12% while cutting cooling costs significantly. You're basically paying for something that earns its money back while bringing the neighborhood together again. Transom windows. Look above the doors in any house built before 1940, and you'll probably see horizontal windows stretching across the door width. These transom windows were architectural problem solvers that worked around the clock without using any electricity. The typical transom measured about 14 inches tall and matched the door width exactly. Some featured fixed glass, while others included operable panels that tilted open using a long pole with a hook on the end. Later versions had chain mechanisms that let you control them without reaching. In the pre-electric era, These windows were essential for moving lamplight from lit hallways into dark bedrooms. Close your door for privacy at night, but light from the hall lantern still filtered in so you weren't stumbling around in complete darkness. When electric lights became common, transoms shifted to being primarily about ventilation. The physics were simple but effective. Hot air rises, so opening transoms above doors created a chimney effect that pulled warm air up and out of rooms. Cool air got drawn in from windows or other doors, creating cross-ventilation through the entire house. In row houses and apartments where only the front and back walls had windows, transoms were the only way to get air circulation through interior rooms. Better transom windows from the 1920s featured beautiful art glass designs. Frosted patterns, colored glass, geometric designs that cast interesting light patterns into hallways and rooms. These turned functional elements into decorative focal points. Installing transoms throughout a house in 1930 cost about $50, equivalent to maybe $800 today. Building codes started restricting them in the 1960s over fire safety concerns, even though properly constructed transoms with wire-reinforced glass actually helped firefighters locate victims in smoke-filled buildings. Modern homes deal with dark hallways by installing electric lights that burn all day. Stuffy bedrooms get fixed with fans or air conditioning. Those solutions cost money to run continuously, while transom windows work for free forever. Pocket doors. Victorian and Craftsman homes from the 1880s through the 1930s feature doors that seemed to vanish by magic. Pocket doors slid completely into wall cavities, disappearing entirely when open, allowing rooms to flow together for entertaining but separate for privacy when needed. Unlike modern barn doors hanging on exposed tracks, pocket doors were completely hidden when open. The mechanism consisted of steel tracks built into the wall cavity with trolley hangers that let heavy solid wood doors glide smoothly on ball bearings. The hardware was so well made that doors installed in the 1920s still operate perfectly in historic homes today, gliding open and closed with barely any effort. Quality pocket door hardware in that era cost about $15 per opening, roughly $200 in current money. These doors were particularly brilliant in smaller homes where every square foot mattered. A traditional swinging door consumed about 9 square feet of floor space when you accounted for its swing radius. That's enough space for a small bookshelf, a chair, even a narrow dresser. The real magic was in how they transformed spaces. Dining rooms could open completely to living rooms for holiday gatherings, then close for intimate family dinners during the week. Children's bedrooms could connect for playtime, creating a larger play space, then separate for sleeping. Homeowners gained flexibility without sacrificing privacy. Pocket doors fell from favor in the 1950s when cheaper hollow-core swinging doors and drywall construction made wall pockets seem complicated and expensive to build. Contractors started claiming they were too difficult to install properly, even though original pocket doors from a century ago still work flawlessly, while many modern doors sag and stick within a few years. Today's tiny house movement and urban housing crisis make these space-saving doors more relevant than ever. Every square foot of floor space counts when real estate prices keep climbing. Yet modern sliding barn doors, which builders push as the contemporary alternative, sacrifice wall space for exposed hardware and tracks while never fully closing with proper sound insulation. Give me a pocket door that disappears into the wall over a barn door, taking up surface space any day. Laundry chutes. Hauling heavy hampers of dirty laundry down multiple flights of stairs is exhausting and dangerous. Our grandparents solved this problem with laundry chutes, built-in vertical passages that transported clothes from bedrooms and bathrooms directly to the laundry room. Standard in middle-class homes from the 1920s to the 1960s, these chutes were typically lined with smooth metal or finished wood, measuring about 14 inches square with spring-loaded doors on each floor. The engineering included fire stops between floors and self-closing doors that met building codes while preventing curious children from climbing inside. Installation in 1945 cost approximately $40, about $600 in today's money. That investment eliminated countless hours of labor and prevented numerous stair-falling accidents over the decades. The convenience was genuinely life-changing. Drop dirty clothes the moment you changed. Never see hampers cluttering bedrooms. Find everything already gathered in the basement when laundry day arrived. More elaborate systems included separate chutes for lights and darks, or branches from multiple bathrooms converging into one basement destination. Some featured collection bins that could be removed and carried directly to the washing machine. Laundry chutes vanished when ranch-style homes eliminated second floors and modern fire codes grew stricter. Safety concerns arose after some apartment fires in the 1960s, though properly constructed chutes with appropriate fire stopping were never actually the problem. The real issue was poorly built or maintained chutes in older apartment buildings. Today's families trudging laundry baskets up and down stairs, dealing with teenagers' bedroom floor laundry piles, and suffering back injuries from carrying heavy loads could solve all these problems with laundry chutes. Modern versions with improved fire safety features are starting to reappear in custom homes as people rediscover how much sense this feature makes. Built-in breakfast nooks. Walk into a 1940s kitchen and you'd often find a cozy corner setup that made every morning feel special. Built-in breakfast nooks turned awkward corner spaces into intimate family gathering spots, using some of the cleverest space-saving design you'll ever see. The typical setup featured bench seating built right into two walls, usually upholstered for comfort, with storage compartments hidden underneath the seats. A custom table fit perfectly into the space, sometimes with drawers built into the wall side for napkins, placemats, and a family Bible. The whole arrangement used about 30% less floor space than a traditional table and chairs while seating the same number of people. Back in the 1950s, the Sears catalog showed these installations running about $40, which translates to roughly $600 in today's money. That's less than a decent dining set costs now, and these nooks lasted forever. The built-in storage alone could hold everything from table linens to board games, keeping the kitchen less cluttered. More importantly, these nooks changed how families interacted. Because the seating was built in, you couldn't just grab your plate and wander off to eat in front of the television. You sat down together. The benches meant kids sat closer together, parents sat closer to kids, and conversations happened naturally. Morning breakfast turned into actual connection time instead of everyone grabbing food on the way out the door. The open floor plan trend of the 1970s convinced everyone that walls and defined spaces were outdated. Suddenly, formal dining rooms seemed more sophisticated than these intimate kitchen nooks. But ask any family therapist today what's missing from modern homes, and they'll tell you it's dedicated spaces that naturally bring people together. Modern families spend thousands on kitchen islands where everyone stands around scrolling their phones. Meanwhile, a simple breakfast nook forces you to sit down, put devices aside, and actually talk to each other over morning coffee. Hardwood Floors Built for Refinishing. Original hardwood floors from our grandparents' era weren't just floor covering. They were heirloom features built to last centuries. These floors use solid 3/4-inch thick planks, usually oak, maple, or pine, installed with craftsmanship that assumed multiple generations would walk on them. The wood was air-dried for years before milling, a process that prevented the warping and gaps plaguing modern kiln-dried lumber. Each board was individually selected and matched for grain pattern, then blind nailed by hand. The installation process took weeks, but the result was a floor that improved with age rather than deteriorating. In 1940, solid hardwood flooring cost about $2 per square foot installed, equivalent to $30 today. That seems expensive until you realize these floors lasted literally forever with basic maintenance. They could be sanded and refinished dozens of times over their lifespan. The wood was thick enough that even after a century of use and multiple refinishings, there was still plenty of material left. These floors developed character over time. Scratches from Grandpa's rocking chair became part of the home's story rather than damage requiring replacement. Worn paths to the kitchen showed where generations walked most often. Even occasional burn marks from dropped cigarettes or dings from dropped tools became part of the floor's history and charm. Compare that to modern engineered flooring with veneer so thin it can only be refinished once, maybe twice before the composite backing shows through. Laminate flooring that mimics wood grain lasts perhaps 15 years before looking shabby and outdated. Meanwhile, those original 1920s hardwood floors, given a fresh sanding and finish every few decades, still look magnificent after a century of use. The real tragedy is the economics. Maintaining genuine hardwood floors costs less over time than repeatedly replacing modern alternatives. But builders push disposable flooring because it generates repeat business. Homeowners keep buying new floors every 10 to 15 years instead of investing once in real hardwood that their grandchildren will inherit. Summer kitchens. In the Midwest and South, summer kitchens represented brilliant seasonal adaptation that modern architecture has completely abandoned. These were separate kitchens, usually located in detached buildings or additions behind the main house, used exclusively during the hottest months to keep cooking heat away from living spaces. From the 1850s through the 1920s, these kitchens were where families did all their heavy cooking, canning, and preserving from June through September. You could boil huge pots for making preserves, roast meat for hours, bake bread all morning, all without turning the main house into an oven. The main kitchen could be closed off entirely, staying relatively cool even on the hottest days. Summer kitchens were typically designed with high ceilings, large windows on multiple walls, and sometimes even screened openings instead of solid walls to maximize cross-ventilation. The heat from wood-burning stoves could escape readily instead of getting trapped indoors. Many included outdoor workspace too, with tables set up under shade trees for food preparation. These spaces also served as important social centers. Women in the family and neighbors would gather to share canning tasks, exchange recipes, and catch up on community news in an airy, comfortable environment. The work of preserving the harvest was considerable, but doing it together in a purpose-built space made it manageable and even enjoyable. Summer kitchens faded away as air conditioning, electric stoves, and smaller family sizes made them seem unnecessary. Why maintain two kitchens when you could just crank up the AC? But we lost something valuable in that transition. The recognition that houses should adapt to natural seasonal rhythms rather than fighting them with mechanical systems. The summer kitchen represents sustainable, adaptive architecture where the house functions as a living organism responding to climate cycles. Today we seal everything up, blast air conditioning to fight cooking heat, and pay enormous utility bills for the privilege of ignoring what our grandparents understood instinctively. Dutch doors. Here's a piece of home hardware that solved about 5 different problems with one simple design. Dutch doors split horizontally in the middle, so the top and bottom halves open independently. You could swing the top half open for fresh air and conversation while keeping the bottom half closed to contain toddlers, pets, or both. The Dutch brought this design over in the 1600s when they were dealing with farm animals that wanted to wander into the house. American homeowners quickly realized these doors were perfect for a lot more than keeping chickens out of the kitchen. The top half opened to let in breezes during hot weather while maintaining security. It functioned as a built-in baby gate that didn't require installation or removal. And that bottom half included a shelf on the inside that became a perfect spot for setting down grocery bags or cooling fresh-baked pies. Through the 1950s, these doors were especially common between kitchens and backyards. A mother could open the top half and supervise children playing outside while working on dinner prep inside. Neighbors could stop by for a quick chat without needing a formal invitation to come inside. The mail carrier could hand packages over the door instead of leaving them on the porch. A quality Dutch door in 1955 cost about $35 to install, roughly $400 in current money, and it lasted indefinitely with basic maintenance. Compare that to modern smart home security systems and video monitoring setups running into thousands of dollars. The decline started when central air conditioning made it seem unnecessary to open doors for ventilation. Security concerns grew as neighborhoods felt less connected. Sliding glass doors looked sleek and modern by comparison. But something important got lost in that transition. Today's parents install elaborate video monitoring systems to watch kids playing in the backyard. They buy expensive baby gates that never quite fit doorways properly. They struggle to maintain that balance between fresh air and home security. A simple Dutch door handled all of it elegantly, and it encouraged face-to-face interaction with neighbors instead of digital surveillance from inside a sealed house. Root cellars. Our grandparents knew how to store food for months without refrigeration, using nothing but earth, stone, and clever design. Root cellars maintain temperatures between 32 and 40 degrees year-round by utilizing the Earth's natural insulation properties. These underground storage spaces were typically built into hillsides or dug beneath houses, measuring about 8 by 10 feet with 7-foot ceilings. The walls were stone or concrete, carefully constructed to stay cool in summer and prevent freezing in winter. The real genius was in the ventilation system. Usually 2 pipes positioned at different heights to regulate temperature and humidity automatically. A properly built root cellar could store an entire family's harvest from September clear through to the next summer. Potatoes stayed firm until June. Apples remained crisp through March. Carrots, beets, turnips, all winter long without spoiling. Canned goods lasted years in that consistent cool temperature. During the Depression and World War II, a well-stocked root cellar often meant the difference between eating well and going hungry. Construction cost in 1935 averaged about $75, roughly $1,500 in current dollars. That investment saved families hundreds annually on groceries by allowing them to buy or grow in bulk when prices were low and quality was high. The cellars also doubled as storm shelters when tornadoes threatened and served as naturally cool storage for home-cured meats, cheese, and wine. The humidity control was remarkably sophisticated. Gravel floors absorbed excess moisture that would rot vegetables. Wooden shelves kept produce off the damp floor. Vent pipes could be adjusted seasonally, opened wider in fall, closed partially in deep winter. Too dry and vegetables shriveled. Too moist and they rotted. But a well-designed root cellar maintained that perfect balance without any monitoring or mechanical systems. Supermarkets and home refrigerators killed root cellars by the 1960s. Why bother with underground storage when you could buy fresh produce year-round and keep in a fridge? But modern preppers and sustainability enthusiasts are rediscovering these structures because they preserve food better than refrigerators for many items, use zero electricity, and provide genuine food security that mechanical systems can't match. When the power goes out during a storm, your refrigerator becomes useless in a few hours. A root cellar just keeps working, maintaining that perfect temperature regardless of what's happening above ground. Coal chutes. When coal was the main heating fuel from the late 1800s through the 1940s, coal chutes were standard features in every house with a basement. These sturdy metal chutes attached to the home's foundation led directly down to the coal storage room, allowing deliveries to pour coal in from outside without entering the house. The typical setup featured an angled metal door or window in the foundation wall, visible from outside at ground level. Inside, the chute angled down into a dedicated coal room with walls often painted white so you could see the coal level. When the coal truck arrived, they'd simply lift the exterior door, position their chute from the truck, and pour hundreds of pounds of coal directly into your basement. The genius was in the labor savings. Without coal chutes, delivery men would have to haul heavy buckets through your front door, through the house, down basement stairs, creating mess and taking time. The chute eliminated all that difficulty, keeping the delivery process completely outside the main living spaces. Even today, black stains mark the walls of many old houses where coal chutes once operated, testament to decades of deliveries. The chutes themselves often remain in place, though most are now sealed up or converted to other uses like emergency egress windows or ventilation. Though we've moved to cleaner energy sources, the question remains whether any modern system operates so simply and durably. Natural gas arrives through underground pipes requiring professional installation and ongoing maintenance. Propane requires tank exchanges. Electricity depends on complex grid infrastructure. The coal chute's elegance was in its mechanical simplicity, just gravity doing its job, year after year, decade after decade. Sleeping porches. Before air conditioning became standard, summer nights could be absolutely miserable indoors. Bedrooms on upper floors turned into ovens that held heat long after sunset. So our grandparents built something brilliantly simple: sleeping porches. These were screened additions, usually on the second floor, where families moved their beds from June through September. Picture walls made entirely of screening on 3 sides, waterproof flooring, and canvas curtains that rolled down during storms. The cross breeze that flowed through these spaces made sleeping comfortable even on the hottest, most humid nights. The health movement of the early 1900s promoted fresh air as treatment for everything from tuberculosis to nervous exhaustion. Doctors actually wrote prescriptions for patients to sleep on porches. Hospitals built entire wards designed as sleeping porches for recovering patients. The idea was that stagnant indoor air contributed to illness, while fresh, moving air promoted healing. By 1920, about 65% of new 2-story homes included sleeping porches in their blueprints. House plan catalogs marketed them as essential features, not luxuries. Adding one cost around $200 in 1925, about $3,000 in today's money. But families saved significantly on doctor visits and lost work time from heat-related illnesses. Some families used their sleeping porches year-round. Even in Minnesota winters, hardy souls would bundle under heavy quilts and sleep in the fresh, cold air, claiming they never slept better. The porches often included built-in daybeds with storage underneath, ceiling fans for extra air movement, and sometimes even primitive intercom systems so parents could hear if children needed them during the night. Then affordable window air conditioning units arrived in the 1950s, and sleeping porches suddenly seemed unnecessary. Why deal with bugs and weather when you could cool a bedroom mechanically? Within a generation, these magical spaces were being converted into regular rooms or torn down completely. But here's what we lost. Modern sleep researchers confirm what our grandparents instinctively knew. Sleeping in cooler temperatures with fresh air improves sleep quality significantly. The gentle sounds of night, crickets chirping, leaves rustling, create natural white noise that promotes deeper rest than mechanical air conditioning humming. And there's something about sleeping under the stars, even screened-in stars, that reconnects us with natural rhythms our bodies are designed for. Homeowners today spend hundreds monthly on air conditioning, use sound machines to cover urban noise, and take melatonin because they can't fall asleep in sealed, climate-controlled bedrooms. Maybe those sleeping porches weren't primitive after all. Picture rails. Ever damage plaster walls trying to hang artwork? Our grandparents had a better solution. Picture rails were narrow wooden moldings installed horizontally around room perimeters, typically 12 to 18 inches below the ceiling. These rails let homeowners hang artwork using nearly invisible wires or decorative chains without putting a single hole in their walls. This was crucial when walls were 3-coat plaster over lath that could crack and crumble from nail holes. The system was elegantly simple. Special hooks grabbed the rail's curved top edge. Wires or chains dropped down to any desired height. Pictures could be adjusted, moved, or completely rearranged without tools or wall damage. A typical 1920s home had picture rails installed in every main room for about $3 per room, equivalent to $45 in today's dollars. These rails weren't merely functional. They served as decorative elements that created visual boundaries between wall and ceiling colors, making standard 8-foot ceilings appear taller. Homeowners could completely redecorate for seasons or special occasions in minutes. Hang light watercolors in summer, heavier oil paintings in winter. Group family photos for reunion weekends, then display fine art the rest of the year. The flexibility was remarkable, especially compared to the commitment required with hammering nails into walls. The rails also supported surprisingly heavy items. Large mirrors, tapestries, even lightweight shelving systems could hang from proper picture rails using appropriately strong wires and hardware. Items that would require special wall anchors and considerable effort to hang today could be repositioned on a whim. These rails disappeared in the 1950s when drywall construction made patching holes easier and modern art hanging systems seemed more flexible. But today's renters losing security deposits over nail holes would benefit immensely from picture rails. Homeowners destroying walls trying to find studs for heavy items would find these rails solve their problems elegantly. Clawfoot tubs. These freestanding cast iron bathtubs on decorative feet represented luxury bathing from the 1880s through the 1930s. But they also offered practical advantages modern built-in tubs simply can't match. The elevated design allowed complete access for cleaning underneath. You could actually see and clean every surface, unlike modern tub surrounds that hide mildew growing in impossible-to-reach spaces. Cast iron retained heat far better than today's acrylic or fiberglass, keeping bath water warm for well over an hour without adding more hot water. The porcelain enamel coating, when properly maintained, lasted literally centuries without staining, chipping, or wearing thin like modern gel coat finishes that yellow and dull within years. A quality clawfoot tub in 1925 cost about $75, equivalent to $1,100 today. Expensive, certainly, but an investment your great-grandchildren would still use. The practical advantages go beyond aesthetics. The freestanding design meant plumbing repairs required no wall demolition, just sliding the tub forward to access pipes underneath. The depth, typically 18 to 20 inches compared to modern tubs 14 inches, allowed genuine therapeutic soaking with shoulders and knees actually submerged. These tubs declined in the 1940s when built-in tubs seemed more modern and space-efficient. Builders promoted the change because built-ins were cheaper to install and hid sloppy construction behind permanent tub surrounds. Marketing convinced homeowners that built-in meant better, even though it mainly meant cheaper and faster for builders. Today's homeowners spend fortunes on whirlpool tubs that break down within years and eventually leak, requiring expensive repairs or complete replacement. A properly maintained clawfoot tub just keeps working century after century, looking better with age while modern tubs become dated and worn. Attic fans. Before central air conditioning became standard, whole-house attic fans could drop indoor temperatures by 10 degrees in minutes. These powerful exhaust fans installed in the highest point of a home's attic worked on simple physics. Hot air rises, so pulling it out the top while drawing cooler air through open windows created refreshing breezes throughout the house. Popular from the 1920s through the 1960s, a typical attic fan measured 30 to 42 inches across and moved 4,000 cubic feet per minute. Installation in 1940 cost about $35, equivalent to $500 in today's money. The energy efficiency was remarkable. Attic fans used 90% less electricity than central air conditioning while providing adequate cooling for all but the hottest days. Operating an attic fan cost about 2 cents per hour compared to 20 cents for air conditioning. Over a summer, that difference added up to substantial savings. The fans also prevented moisture buildup that causes mold, extended roof shingle life by reducing attic temperatures that could reach 150 degrees, and eliminated that stuffy, stagnant feeling that plagues modern sealed homes. Installation included louvers that closed automatically when the fan stopped, preventing heat loss in winter. The system was brilliantly simple. One large fan, some louvers, a thermostat or manual switch. Nothing complex to break down or require expensive repairs. These fans declined when central air conditioning became standard in new construction during the 1960s and 70s. People prioritized consistent cold temperatures over natural cooling methods. But something important was lost in that transition. The connection to natural temperature rhythms, the fresh air circulation, the lower operating costs. Today's homeowners facing $400 monthly summer electric bills and health problems from constantly recirculated air could slash costs dramatically with attic fans. Modern versions include improved designs and quieter motors while maintaining the same basic principle that worked so well for decades. Built-in cabinetry. Custom millwork integrated into a home's architecture was standard in quality construction from the 1900s through the 1950s. These weren't just kitchen cabinets, but comprehensive storage systems throughout homes, maximizing every inch while maintaining clean sight lines. Built-in china hutches in dining rooms displayed family heirlooms while providing storage for serving pieces. Linen closets featured adjustable cedar shelving that repelled moths naturally. Bedroom wardrobes included specialized compartments for hats, shoes, folded clothes, and hanging garments. Living room bookcases flanked fireplaces, creating architectural interest while storing books and decorative objects. Master craftsmen created these pieces on site, matching with species and finishes to existing trim, ensuring perfect fit and proportion. The 1920s Sears catalog showed built-in installations averaging $50 per room, about $750 today, but eliminating the need for multiple furniture pieces that cost far more collectively. Built-ins used every inch efficiently. Dead corners became lazy Susans. Spaces under stairs housed pull-out drawers. Narrow walls between windows accommodated display shelves. The craftsmanship was extraordinary. Dovetailed drawers that still glide smoothly after a century. Adjustable shelving on brass standards that never fails. Hardware that operates as smoothly as the day it was installed. Mass-produced furniture killed this tradition in the 1960s when it became cheaper to buy prefab pieces than pay skilled carpenters. The furniture industry convinced consumers that flexibility meant better, that being able to move pieces around or replace them frequently was somehow an advantage. Modern homes stuffed with mismatched furniture that doesn't quite fit, leaving wasted gaps and cluttered sight lines, would benefit enormously from built-in cabinetry. These installations create seamless storage, increase home value substantially, and eliminate the endless cycle of buying, moving, and discarding furniture that never quite works in the space. Mail slots. These simple door-mounted or wall-embedded openings for mail delivery solved multiple problems elegantly without any moving parts or electricity. Standard in homes from the 1920s through the 1970s, mail slots meant never missing deliveries, never having packages stolen from porches, and never having mail damaged by weather. The typical slot measured 2 inches by 11 inches with an interior flap preventing drafts and prying eyes, plus an interior collection box or cage preventing mail from scattering across the floor. Installation in 1950 cost about $8, equivalent to $100 today, but eliminated the ongoing expense and maintenance of exterior mailboxes. Mail slots were particularly brilliant in cities where package theft wasn't yet called porch piracy, but definitely existed, and in harsh climates where external mailboxes filled with snow or baked in desert heat, damaging contents. Postal carriers loved them because they could deliver in any weather without leaving the sidewalk, speeding routes considerably. Some elaborate versions included speaking tubes for communicating with delivery people, separate slots for newspapers, and even early package receiving boxes with exterior locks that only carriers could access. The security was actually superior to exterior mailboxes that anyone could open and access. These slots disappeared as suburban development favored curbside delivery, and vague security concerns grew about openings and doors, though properly designed mail slots with interior collection boxes were actually more secure than exterior mailboxes. Modern households dealing with stolen packages, weather-damaged mail, and the hassle of holding mail during vacations would benefit immensely from mail slots that keep deliveries secure and dry inside homes automatically. Solid brass hardware. Doorknobs, hinges, and fixtures from the early 1900s through the 1940s featured solid brass construction that improved with age rather than deteriorating. Unlike today's brass-plated zinc that wears through to ugly base metal within a few years, solid brass hardware developed rich patinas that could be polished bright or left to age gracefully, depending on preference. A complete set of solid brass hardware for a 1920s home cost about $20, equivalent to $300 today, but lasted centuries with zero maintenance beyond occasional polishing if desired. The quality was extraordinary. Mortise lock sets with intricate mechanisms still functioning perfectly after 100 years of daily use. Hinges supporting heavy doors without sagging. Doorknobs that never loosened or wobbled. The antimicrobial properties of brass, which naturally kills bacteria and viruses on contact within hours, made these fixtures inherently more sanitary than modern materials. Recent studies confirmed what craftsmen instinctively knew. Brass surfaces are self-sanitizing, reducing disease transmission in homes. Solid brass hardware was also infinitely reparable. Any competent locksmith could rebuild mechanisms using standard parts, unlike today's proprietary designs requiring complete replacement when something breaks. The weight and feel communicated quality in a way modern hollow hardware simply can't match. Opening a door with a solid brass handle provided tactile satisfaction, that substantial feeling of quality you could sense in your hand. Mass production of cheap imported hardware in the 1960s convinced homeowners that replacing fixtures every decade was normal. Builders started installing the cheapest hardware possible, knowing homeowners wouldn't notice the difference until after closing. Within a few years, the plating wore off, mechanisms failed, and homeowners were back at the hardware store buying replacements. Today's consumers buying new lock sets every 5 years because plating wore off or mechanisms failed would save money long-term with solid brass hardware. The initial investment is higher, certainly, but hardware that looks better after a century than modern alternatives do after 5 years is obviously the smarter choice. That beautiful aged patina tells the story of everyone who's passed through those doors over generations. Broom closets. Today we hide cleaning supplies behind kitchen cabinet doors or cram them into coat closets. Our grandparents dedicated specific spaces for cleaning equipment, and those dedicated broom closets made remarkable sense. These closets typically appeared in hallways, usually 18 inches wide, 16 inches deep, and about 72 inches tall. Dimensions specifically chosen for storing brooms, mops, and vacuum cleaners vertically. Everything hung or stood upright, making items easy to grab instantly without playing Tetris with bottles and equipment. The organization was simple but effective. Hooks along the back wall held brooms and mops by their handles. Shelves above stored cleaning products, rags, and small tools. Some versions included a small utility sink at the bottom for filling buckets or rinsing mops. Everything related to house cleaning lived in one designated, easily accessible location. Modern homeowners pay contractors thousands of dollars to design custom storage solutions, trying to create organized spaces for cleaning supplies. Our grandparents achieved that perfect organization with one simple, intentionally designed vertical space. The broom closet wasn't fancy or complicated, just thoughtfully sized and positioned for its specific purpose. Beyond the practical benefits, these closets reduced mental clutter too. Seeing cleaning supplies scattered across multiple locations creates low-level stress. Having everything consolidated in one designated spot means you always know where to find what you need, and putting things away requires no decision-making about where they belong. The broom closet represents a larger principle our grandparents understood better than we do. Everything should have a dedicated place designed for its specific function. Don't force cleaning supplies to coexist awkwardly with food storage or coats. Give them their own space, sized appropriately, and life becomes simpler. Butler's pantries. These transitional spaces between kitchens and dining rooms serve as command centers for meal, staging, and storage from the 1890s through the 1950s. More than just storage rooms, Butler's pantries included counters for plating courses, sinks for washing crystal and china, and specialized storage for everything from silver to table linens. The typical Butler's pantry measured 6 by 8 feet with floor-to-ceiling cabinetry, drawers lined with Pacific cloth to prevent silver from tarnishing, and glass front cabinets displaying fine china where it stayed dust-free but visible. In 1930, adding a Butler's pantry cost about $200, equivalent to $3,000 today, but eliminated kitchen clutter and transformed entertaining from stressful to elegant. These spaces allowed hosts to prepare elaborate meals without guests seeing the chaos. Dirty dishes could disappear instantly from dining rooms through swinging doors, and valuable serving pieces stayed protected but accessible. The design was brilliant. Pocket doors or swinging doors with windows let servers see both directions, preventing collisions while maintaining privacy between kitchen and dining areas. Pass-through windows allowed food to move efficiently while keeping cooking sounds and smells contained in the kitchen. Many Butler's pantries included their own small refrigerators for beverages and desserts, freeing up kitchen refrigerators for meal preparation. The counters provided staging space for plating courses, something modern kitchens desperately lack during dinner parties. Open-concept floor plans killed Butler's pantries in the 1960s when kitchen visibility became fashionable. Suddenly being able to see the cook from the dining room seemed desirable, even though it meant guests watched all the messy prep work and cleanup. Modern hosts trying to cook, serve, and clean while entertaining guests in great rooms where everything's visible would find Butler's pantries transform stressful dinner parties into gracious occasions. The behind-the-scenes staging area means guests see only the polished presentation while the real work happens out of sight. Large awnings. Window and door awnings from the early 1900s to the 1960s reduced cooling costs by up to 77% on sun-facing windows while adding distinctive architectural character. These weren't flimsy modern afterthoughts, but substantial structures of canvas or aluminum extending 3 to 4 feet from buildings, adjustable for seasonal sun angles. Professional installation of awnings for an entire house in 1950 averaged $150, about $1,800 today, but paid for themselves in a single summer through reduced cooling costs. The science was simple but remarkably effective. Blocking sun before it hit windows prevented solar heat gained far more efficiently than any interior treatment like blinds or curtains. Awnings dropped interior temperatures by up to 15 degrees on south-facing rooms. The designs added curb appeal too, with striped patterns adding color and personality, while scalloped edges created elegant shadow patterns on walls. Many feature drop-down sides for additional protection during storms. Retractable versions could be adjusted seasonally, providing summer shade but allowing winter sun for passive heating. Window awnings also protected furnishings from UV damage, extending the life of curtains, carpets, and upholstery significantly. Insurance companies recognize this benefit, sometimes offering premium reductions for homes with proper awnings because they reduced sun damage claims. These awnings disappeared when air conditioning became universal and vinyl siding couldn't support their weight properly. Modern homeowners blast air conditioning while sun pounds through windows, then cover those windows with heavy curtains or blinds that block natural light completely. They're paying to cool their homes while simultaneously blocking the views they presumably bought the house for. Awnings would save money and improve quality of life by selectively controlling sun exposure while maintaining views in daylight. You can see outside, enjoy natural light, but avoid the greenhouse effect that turns rooms into ovens by afternoon. Radiant hot water heating. These systems circulated hot water through pipes embedded in floors or radiators, providing gentle, even heat without the dust, noise, and drafts of forced air systems. Common from the 1900s to the 1960s, radiant systems created superior comfort by warming objects and people directly rather than just heating air that immediately rose to the ceiling. The cast iron radiators often featured ornate Victorian designs, becoming sculptural room elements rather than eyesores requiring covers. A typical 1940s boiler system cost about $300 installed, equivalent to $4,500 today, but lasted 70 years or more with minimal maintenance. The efficiency was remarkable because water holds heat far better than air, allowing radiant systems to maintain steady temperatures using less energy. The health benefits were significant too. No blown dust triggering allergies, no dry air requiring humidifiers, no temperature swings causing respiratory irritation. Radiant floor heating, where pipes ran through concrete slabs, created the ultimate luxury of warm floors on cold mornings. The systems were virtually silent except for occasional peaceful radiator pings, unlike modern furnaces roaring to life every 20 minutes. There was something comforting about sitting near a warm radiator on a winter evening, the gentle heat radiating outward, warming you from the outside in. These systems declined when forced air systems became cheaper to install in the 1950s and 60s and could double for air conditioning distribution. But forced air created new problems: uneven heating, constant temperature swings, dry air, allergen circulation, and noisy operation. Today's homeowners suffering through these exact problems, paying astronomical heating bills, and dealing with allergy issues from forced air would find radiant heating provides superior comfort, better health outcomes, and lower operating costs despite higher installation prices. Modern radiant systems using PX tubing are even more efficient than vintage versions while maintaining all the benefits. Knob and tube wiring. This was America's first residential electrical system, dominating from the 1880s through the 1930s as electricity gradually reached American homes. Knob and tube wiring used single copper wires secured to walls and joists by ceramic knobs, running through ceramic tubes when passing through wooden structural members. The system was remarkably clever for its era. The ceramic insulators kept wires separated from wood, preventing fires. The airspace around wires allowed heat dissipation better than modern insulation-packed wiring. The visible installation made inspection and repairs straightforward. Homeowners with basic knowledge could often handle simple repairs themselves. What made this system historically significant was its cost-effectiveness, making new electrical technology accessible to ordinary families rather than only the wealthy. For the first time, middle-class families could have electric lights, could plug in appliances, could participate in the electrification transforming American life. The first light bulb in your grandparents' living room probably ran on knob and tube wiring. That ceiling fan slowly turning overhead, the radio bringing news and entertainment, the electric iron making laundry day easier, all powered by this simple, affordable electrical system. Modern electrical systems are safer and more sophisticated, certainly, with grounding, circuit breakers, and insulation that meets current codes. But knob and tube wiring represented a major step forward in social history, demonstrating American ingenuity in making new technology available to everyone, not just the elite. Many historic homes still contain original knob and tube wiring that functioned safely for decades before eventually being replaced. The ceramic insulators often remain visible in old attics and basements, quiet reminders of when electricity first brought light and power into American homes. These 25 features weren't just clever designs. They represented a different philosophy about how homes should function. Our grandparents built houses that worked with nature rather than fighting it, that lasted generations rather than decades, that brought communities together rather than isolating families behind closed doors. The wraparound porches fostered neighborhoods where people knew each other. The sleeping porches connected families to natural rhythms and seasonal changes. Root cellars provided food security without fossil fuels. Built-in features eliminated clutter while adding character. Every element served multiple purposes, solved real problems, and assumed the house would still be standing for grandchildren to inherit. Modern construction has abandoned most of these features in the name of efficiency and cost-cutting. But we're rediscovering that cheaper and faster don't always mean better. The disposable approach to home building has left us with houses that feel generic, that require constant repairs and updates, that isolate us from neighbors and nature. Maybe it's time to look backward to move forward. Not every old feature makes sense in modern life, but many of them solve problems we're still struggling with: wasted energy, social isolation, clutter, lack of character, environmental impact. The features our grandparents considered standard could make our homes more beautiful, more sustainable, more connected to community, and frankly, more livable. That's worth bringing back. What features from your grandparents' homes do you remember most fondly? Share your memories in the comments. If this brought back nostalgia or taught you something new, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of the wisdom we've left behind. Thanks for taking this journey back in time with me.